Hi, my name is Matt Ronell with Dell Technologies Data Protection Division. In today's demo, I'm going to take you through our Vsphere plugin for PowerProtect Data Manager. Previously, you've seen me create protection policies and do recovery through the native PowerProtect Data Manager UI. However, we have a very powerful Vsphere plugin where we can do a lot of the same features and functionalities within the UI directly from the Vsphere client itself. So what I've done is I've logged into my Vcetner, and what we can see here is I have my cluster with all my virtual machines. You may remember this Windows 01 VM that we protected before, and this Linux 01 VM that I protected with that other policy that I had already created. So first, I want to show you the ability to actually run an on-demand backup of a virtual machine. I'm going to click on this Linux 01 VM and go to my PowerProtect tab. You see I have two options, one to kick off a restore or one to kick off a backup. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to kick off a backup of this Linux 01 virtual machine. I click this button and it's going to kick off my backup. We're going to see this backup process get started off in my recent task bar down here, and we're going to see that backup start. This is a very handy feature to have if before you're patching a virtual machine, you may want to run a quick backup on it just in case something goes wrong and you want to restore back. You can do this all natively out of Vsphere. Now while that process gets kicked off and we see that VM begin to get backed up, let's show you how to do a quick and easy restore of Windows 01, the one that we protected before, and I showed you how to restore in the GUI. So I'm going to click on the PowerProtect Data Manager plugin, and I'm going to click the Restore button. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have the ability to select which copy I want to restore from. You're probably going to see that this web box here looks very, very similar and identical to the one we saw within the PowerProtect Data Manager UI. So I'm going to select the VM name that I'm going to restore, and I'm going to choose the copy. I'm going to select my target storage that it's on. You see now we've had two copies that have been created. So I have the ability to restore back to my 7:07 p.m. copy or my 7:15 copy. I'm going to choose my 7:07 copy for today and select not the most recent copy and select OK. We're going to select Next. And then once again, I'm presented with the two different options. I can restore my entire virtual machine either to a new location within my Vsphere cluster, or I can instantly access that entire VM by booting that off my virtual data domain and then mounting that up via an NFS share up to my ESX cluster I have here. Or I have the ability just to restore an individual VMDK that is mounted and attached to Windows 01 and restore that directly up to the original VM. I'm going to do the instant access one again this time, and we'll select Next. Now I'm given three different options. Do I want to instantly access that VM, which I talked about? I can create and restore a brand new virtual machine, or I can overwrite the existing virtual machine and overwrite that with this backup copy. I'm going to choose the instant access option again. We'll select Next. I choose the data center I want to restore that on from. So I select this Vcetner, select this particular data center. I'm going to choose which cluster I'd like to restore it to. We're going to choose the PowerProtect cluster. I'm going to select which ESX host I want. In this case, we'll put it back to 02. And then options, including what I want to call this particular VM. So I'm going to call this Win Restore VM. And I also have the ability to reconnect those NICs. Once again, these are the same options whether you're in the PowerProtect Data Manager user interface or using our Vsphere plugin. We'll select Next. We're given a quick summary in case I need to go back and make any changes. And then we'll click Restore. What this is going to do is this is going to go kick off that restore job for me. And we're going to eventually see that NFS share get created here in our recent task. And then that VM will be booted up. Once again, similar to the process before out of the native GUI, this process takes less than 30 seconds to complete. We can see that the NAS data store has been created. We're reconfiguring that virtual machine, and we're bringing that VM up and running. If we click on this VM, we can already see that this VM is already starting to boot up. Now, if we go into my PowerProtect Data Manager user interface, and I go into my Recovery tab, and I go into my Running Sessions, we're going to see that that Win Restore VM is in the process of being mounted up. So we're doing that instant access process from here. Once I'm done and this VM once I'm done with this VM, I can either go in here and delete this off, or if I want to, I can actually click off a storage vMotion process and storage vMotion this VM off my NFS data store on my virtual data domain into my data store that's on my production storage array. I just wanted to show you how quickly and simple that your VMware admins can do backups and restores with our plugin for PowerProtect Data Manager. I hope you enjoyed this demo.